Let's get some light. Oh my, that's so much better. There we go. Okay, so tonight I am going to bind this and put some wall hanger corners on the back so that I can hang it up on my wall tomorrow. And so we're going to be working on binding this. I just love how it turned out. This is just such a fun wall hanging. And I want to make a full-size quilt with these. So this is all scraps. You guys watched me put it together for the scrap live that we ended up rescheduling or canceling, I should say. So in the future, I'd like to make 4 of these total and put them together in a full-size quilt. Like, I think that'd be so fun. Or just do this and expand it and make it really, really big. So, yeah. We are going to bind this, finish it up, and then work on the Goldfinch. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay, so I'm going to cut my strips. I'm going to check the chat. Hi, Sandra. I kind of got my space put together, finally. There was just a bunch of stuff going on. It was crazy, so I tidied up the other day, and I feel so much better. I even found a place for my light box. Hi, Whitney. Hey, June. Hi, Amy. How's everyone doing tonight? I have to cut some binding strips. I like to make my binding strips 3 inches wide. I just really like 3-inch wide binding. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's easier to work with. And I just find that I get better mitered corners when I work with 3 inches versus 2.5. Move that. Let's make sure that that is accurate, though. That's a little bit off because I moved it. Well, yeah. Let's just try. Hello, Jeanette. I'm just not really good at 2.5-inch binding. I love it for other people. I love done. People do it a lot better than I do. I just love a good 3-inch binding. That's width. I run into fewer problems when I do 3-inch strips. Okay. I'm going to have to find a different fabric to do my little wall hanging pockets for. But let's come to this. But look, I found a little spot for my light pad for when I'm working on FPP. So I put my little TV tray next to where I'm sewing, and so that is really fun. I'm excited to actually use it. I haven't had a place to put it, so I look like a mess. We went outside today. I need a shower. Maybe I'll take a shower in the morning or sneak one in. Louise is still sleeping in our beds, and that is only our fault. That's definitely our fault, but I have no one to blame but myself. But I'm just saying, I have very limited things that I can do. Nice post from Legit Kids on Ant. Wasn't that so sweet? He is so nice. Oh, hi, Kathleen. Yeah, that was really, really nice of him to do that. He's just a cool dude. I just like his personality. I feel like everyone we've had on for Meet the Makers has just had a really good personality and a good energy. That's what I love. I just love that everyone's been so nice and friendly. I don't need this to be so short. I have it set for FPP. I mean, it can't hurt anything. It's going to be very secure, but I don't need it to be that short. Yeah, everyone's been so nice. Stacy, she had a great personality. I loved her energy. Everyone's just been so upbeat and positive. I'm really glad. Because I feel like I kind of, like, energy-wise, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm usually a little bit more upbeat than normally. So, interviewing other people who are like that's really fun. Hi, Becca! I am putting the binding on this really fun wall hanging that I'm going to hang up on my wall. I think I'm going to enter this into our quilt show for the Guild in September. Or actually, it's October. So, I thought that'd be fun to finish up. I also think I'm going to enter my color wheel quilt and my strawberry quilt, but I have to trim that up and bind it as well. But I'm going to do my Goldfinch first. I just wanted to get the binding on here because my wall is bare now. The bulldog is usually right here, but my Juki thread stand, since it was like a canvas picture, it came out too much from the wall, and this wouldn't be able to like fully extend all the way up, so I had to take it down. Good thing though, because I was planning on putting this rainbow one there anyway. Hi, Louine! Haven't seen you in a while. How are you tonight? So I hate that this wall is just empty, so I want to finish this up. Okie dokie. Whee! Now to get out our ninja flower, as Becca calls it. This thing's awesome. My mother-in-law was asking about, she's like, what is that thing that you're using in your video? I'm like, oh, the ninja flower? But like, I only say that because Becca says it that way. Alright, we're going to use this to try. I haven't used these in so long. I have so many snippers. But I went to an English paper piecing class the other day. On Monday. Yesterday. Oh my gosh. And I put my clippers in there. So good thing I have plenty of clippers. Plus I need... Oh my gosh. You can never have too many scissors. I also put a thing of scissors in the EPP bag. So I actually went to that, and it wasn't terrible. It was really fun. All of the ladies were really, really nice. Irene was there. I really like her. She's like so upbeat and happy all the time, and I just love talking to her. And she knows her EPP stuff. Like, she's so enthusiastic about it and passionate about it. So I was like, okay. But we all went, and it was really, really fun. Angela was not there because she's still on a trip, but she goes every month, usually to that group, so that's going to be really cool. Maybe next month she'll be there, and we can do some English paper piecing with Angela Walters. But really, it was just the ladies that were there were so fun to talk to and learn about. We just sat there and hand-stitched and got to know each other. It was really cool. And to see what they were all working on, they are so talented. They've been doing English paper piecing for quite some time. So they were working on like just these amazing, amazing works of art. Someone showed off, I don't remember the pattern name, but she did this fussy cutting that was just unreal. And she was like, I haven't been doing English paper piecing that long, and this is what I'm working on. I'm like, how long is not that long? Because this is so pretty. It was literally art. This is a little off, but I think we can finagle it. Yeah, and I think we're also going to do the retreat. I saw that, Louine. That's going to be awesome. I have my notifications on for her channel, so I'm not going to miss it. It's just me being a solo parent tomorrow. Austin goes to the office. speaking of Austin, oh my gosh. So he took my Singer and like the table board that was on here into his office. He has a sewing machine set up in his office. He took a cutting mat and a rotary blade or a rotary cutter, and he made a pillowcase today, and he's mapping out a quilt to make for his brother's birthday this week, all by himself. So he is off to the races. Like, let me see if I can find the video I took today. He came up with a pillowcase, and I'm like, what are you using to sew? I didn't even hear you.
Need to shower.
Austin made a sewing area in his office. He's really enjoying it. And he also sent me, look at this. Look at this. He sent me, so I was like, just do 6-inch blocks and just do a scrappy one because he's using office fabric that I bought a while ago because his brother really likes the office. And so I had a bunch of yardage in there, and he grabbed them all up, and he freaking sent me this. He said, random or something like this. And then he sent that as well. So he's really, really getting into it. It's kind of surprising me, but also it's like, now we have to balance, like, okay, are you sewing? Oh, you're sewing? Okay, well, I'll do this then. It's kind of like weird having, not like, I'm not selfish. Like, I love that he's enjoying it, but it's also like giving up complete ownership of being the only quilter in the house. It's like a mix of both, like excitement and also like, but this is my thing. And when I say that, it's more of like, okay, you're coming down here. He doesn't really put things away, so like he'll take stuff and then not put it away, and that drives me crazy because I have to have everything in a certain place, and so when I come down here and things are missing or things are just like sprawled around randomly, I'm like, dude, this is like my sacred place. You can't do this. But it also could just be the pregnancy hormones making me emotional. You never know. But it is like my spot in the house. It's like my thing to do. And so I like that he's doing it, but I'm like, please put things away. Because things get crazy quick, especially with the amount of tools and things that you use in quilting. If you don't put them back, you have a giant mess on your hands in no time. So, but he's doing a good job. Some exciting news for me. I'm purchasing a long arm frame, secondhand, older model, Grace Company one, but it's a 9-foot frame. Oh, that is awesome. Go Janine. That is amazing. That's so cool that Austin is liking the quilt thing. Yeah, he's loving it. Our thing, quilt shop, manifesting Beth. That's so funny. Oh, you better get some boundaries or rules about putting things back where you found them. And I tried telling him, I was like, hey, because I don't want to be, I'm just going to say, I don't want to be bitchy, but I want to be like, hey, babe, like, can you please put the things away? Like, I have my space set up in a certain way. So, yes, I see that he needs his own tools. He does need his own tools, and then he can set up in his office however he wants, and he can leave my fort alone. That sounds so mean. I don't mean it in a mean way. I just get anxiety. Sometimes I get really anxious about things, especially with things like sprawled out everywhere. If it's a huge mess, it gives me anxiety, especially if I didn't make the mess. Well, now he'll understand the meaning behind, oh no, you did not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start, I don't know, maybe for our anniversary, I'll get him like a starter kit or something. I mean, I have multiples of a lot of things, so he doesn't need a rotary cutter. I have like 4 of those. So he took the Martelli. He was like, yeah, I took this cutting mat, and I took this rotary cutter, and it's the Martelli. And I was like, that's actually probably the better one for you to use, because watching him try to use the Fiskars, I'm like, oh my god, you are gonna like hurt yourself, dude. So I'm glad he's using the Martelli. but I don't know. It's really cool to watch him. His pillowcase that he made is so good. Like, he came upstairs just so nonchalantly with this pillowcase that he sewed up secretly. I had no idea that he did it. And I'm like, oh my god. I saw a little bunny tail run through the yard. It's like, what was that? So, have to iron this bind. I usually do this on my ironing board and it goes a lot faster. But I don't want to have to go get the thing out. Hi, Pat! How are you? Yeah, I want to make him a starter kit. And yeah, have him feel like it's his own stuff. And then it also gives me the feeling of like, this is still my space and it's not like, I don't know. This is like the only corner of the house that is like completely mine. He's got his office and I don't go in there. I don't mess around. I don't rearrange things. I don't take things out of his. It's like the small things like, if he comes down here and he always uses a tape measure and, he never puts it back. He always uses the tape measure to measure something. And then I come down here and I can't find my tape measure. I'm like, where the hell is it? And it's like randomly throughout the house. So that kind of stuff drives me crazy. I know I'm not the only one. And I know that you guys, like, I hope you guys know me well enough to know that I'm not just being a butt about it. But I'm going to have to learn how to share and play nice. It's just cool. I'm really excited to see the quilt that he makes his brother because I was honestly blown away. Like, how much effort. Like, he just came down here and he started pulling out yardage. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I want to make a quilt for my brother. And I was like, okay. And then he sent me a text message not too long after that with the little, like, spreadsheet of, like, a design. And I'm like, oh my god, look at you go. Like, he is just having so much fun. He needs something. He really does need something. And I think sewing is very therapeutic. It gives us kind of like a purpose and it gives us an outlet. And it's really relaxing. So I'm really glad that he is getting into it because he sits at a computer all day for work. And we have 3 kids and life is just stressful sometimes. So he needs some sort of happiness outside of all that. And I'm really, really happy that he's come around to quilting. At first I was like, he's just going to make this dragon quilt and he's going to be like, okay, whatever. And now it's like the dragon quilt, I'm waiting for thread to come in, which should be here tomorrow. So I think I'm going to record a video tomorrow of opening my first box of wholesale glide thread. So I ordered quite a few colors, and one of the colors I really want to use on his quilt, on his dragon quilt. So I'm waiting to quilt that until I get the thread in. And then I think we're going to get, there's a really cool Dwight Schrute pantograph. So I think since it's an office quilt, we're going to get the Dwight Schrute, Dwight Schrute, I think I'm saying it right. Oh my gosh. The dude from The Office, the really funny Dwight dude. There's a pantograph with his face, and so I think we're going to get that and quilt it on there for his brother. But his brother's birthday is this Saturday, so chop chop. He better be fast. Oh, that's awesome, Louine. Yeah, I need to do something like that. Alright, let's start about here. Here we go. My first time binding something on the Juki. Here we go. I still, I can't get over this staying machine is just so cool. This is awesome. We're going to get this done in the nick of time. pretty sure that this is a 1/4 inch foot. I'm going to use it as a 1/4 inch foot so everything is consistent, but we shall see. Alright, let's flip it around. Let me move this. You guys can't see anything that I'm doing. Lame. There we go. You can see it a little bit better. This quilt was made 100% from all of my scraps. Not a single piece of fabric was purchased for this quilt. Oh, good night. Congratulations on your long arm, Janine. This is awesome. I love this machine. It makes me so happy listening to it just go. I don't even think I don't think I sewed this fast on the Singer. Oops. So I did say the only thing I had to say about the Juki was the automatic threader. Another thing is the back tacking lever is like, seems so out of like range. It's kind of awkward. It's just, I'm not used to it yet. So really, is it Juki's fault or is it mine? But my other one on my Singer is like right here. So I felt a lot closer to my project while I was back tacking. We are going to get this done. Oh, I better be careful. Well, I guess I'm hanging it up. Well, I really want to hang it up the way that I designed it. And I designed it with the red in the top left corner and the purple. So I think I'm just going to hang it up in a different way. But do I need to add hangers for the quilt show? We'll see. I always forget. I just get started. Forget to put those dang corner pockets on. There's a crease in the corner, but it's okay. We'll make it work. Not ideal, but I'm not going to rip it out and start over. I know some people would. I'm just going to have to finagle it a little bit more. What model? It's the 2000 QI, the TL2000. I really like it. Got a knee bar, but my machine's too far back in my table to reach it. So I'd have to modify the table. And I'm like, is it really worth it to modify the table all over again for the knee bar? Maybe it is. I don't know. I need to move this. We are already on the very last side. Look at us go! Hey, Heather! You're not late at all. I've only been on for a little bit. I like to leave a healthy gap here, so call it good there. I thought that I was going to do a scrappy border of like rainbow going all the way around. And I was just searching for the best fabric. I was going through so many different options. But then I found this in my scraps. And I was like, this would be perfect. It's kind of like the sun peeking through the rainbow on the other side. And I felt like it matched the saturation of all of the other colors on the top. The other set that I had was just not... Oh, see you soon, Amy. Soon. It's a straight, yes it is. It's only straight stitch. I still have the Singer. It's actually in Austin's office now. But I plan to still use that if I ever need to use a zigzag stitch, or I plan on taking that to retreats. And so let's just join. Oh, I have to tell you, I finally caved and bought the Sew Line glue. Not for FPP. I'm fine with using cheap glue for FPP, but I got it for English paper piecing to bring to that meeting that I went to, or that class. It's not really a class, it's just like a group that gets together. So I finally caved and bought the Sew Line glue that everyone loves, and I really like it. So there's that. I thought I would have to tell you that. It's only fair because I feel like I've sworn it off. Heather, I am like not looking forward to that. So we missed enrollment for Addie. Addie could have gone to preschool this year, but enrollment was in like February. It was like, and he's our first kiddo. So how the heck am I supposed to know? They don't send out anything in the mail. They don't put anything in the grocery stores. They don't do anything. I had no idea. And I think I got in contact with them in like April or March to see about enrolling him for preschool, and they were like, oh, enrollment was like 2 months ago. And I'm like, what? How are new supposed to know that stuff? So now we know that enrollment is literally the beginning of the year, and so next year he'll be 5, so he'll be going to kindergarten next year. But oh my god, I'm gonna have a kid in school. I don't know how you do it, Heather. How does that feel? Your little babies in school. Then it's like, oh my gosh. Well, I'm still gonna have, we've got a few years until all of the kids are in school. So it's not like, oh, Addie's in school, free reign, I get to do whatever I want. I still got, I'll have the girls and then the baby here, which is totally fine, not complaining. Just saying that once they are all in school, I'm going to have no excuse to not have the laundry done. Or I should say the laundry put away. That's really the problem. Putting away the laundry. Ugh. No fun. I should pin this, but I'm going to see if I can finagle it. Finagle is the word tonight. Let's see how many times I can work finagle into tonight's live. Also, I have a really fun announcement that I cannot announce. And I know you're like, why the heck did you say something then? Expect a really big surprise in a few weeks. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be epic. Real school. Hold on. I have a Band-Aid on my finger. so I can't scroll up. Where'd it go? Real school or preschool or pre-preschool? Well, it's either you get the glue or you have to spend extra energy with basting stitches. Yeah, well, and I have a little bit of the Elmer's glue, but I knew that I was running low, and so I was like, why not? I'll just get the dang Sew Line glue, and it was actually really nice. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law ended up buying it too. Let's get this binding attached. It's a bachelor watching night, so I was doing that while I was getting Louise down. Whee! How was your class today? So it was yesterday, and it was amazing. Let me show you guys what I made. Oh, Beth, please say finagle. Yeah. I'm going to say finagle so many times tonight. That's my goal. I think I've already said it like 4 times. Okay. This is what I made. I'm making a little flower. I took the paper out of one of them just to see what it would be like. I don't know why. I regretted it as soon as I did it. But I'm going to put the other 3. See, here's my clippers. Where are my other 3 petals? Where'd you go? So I have these 3, and I used that Libs Elliott fabric that I used on that color wheel quilt. So here's a little flower. I've got half of it done. I don't hate it. I don't hate English paper piecing like I thought I would. Just because the only reason I say that is because I don't like hand stitching. But as I kind of got the hang of it and got more comfortable and got a thimble, my mother-in-law let me use a thimble, I was able to get the hang of it. And it was just nice being able to sit there and chat with the ladies. And it's also kind of similar to FPP in the sense that you don't have to be doing math. You don't have to be thinking super hard while you're doing it. It's just kind of like once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. And I'm going to be like, all right, time to pull out this and try to finagle this super, super thin thread and needle. But I did buy some tulip needles and the thread there while I was there. And we're planning on going again next month. And I think I'll get the Hexie template next month that has a 3/8 or 3/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. I didn't get it this time, but now that I've purchased some supplies, it's like I better do it. Can't just like buy it and then not do it. Okay, now we're just pulling this over and we're gonna stitch onto the front. Finagle. Long A in that, please. Finagle. Okay, let's pull this over. And let's stitch our binding down. So, talk to me about quilt shows. Do they frown upon quilts that are machine bound? Trying to decide. Am I gonna get frowned? Are they gonna be like, what the heck? Who's this chick? Thinking she can machine bind these quilts. I'm really liking this yellow. If you're doing 1-inch hexies, you can get the mini hexie more and use that. It has a 3-inch seam allowance unintentionally. Ooh. I got 1.5-inch hexies because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I grabbed that off Amazon before the class, along with the Solan glue. And I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. Not loving. This needs to be sanded down. But like I said, I don't hate it. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I know Tula, like, she's all about EPP, so I like her patterns too. They're really, I don't think I'll ever be able to do patterns like that, but I love her Tula Talk or her Tula Tuesdays where she shows off all of her fun patterns. They're absolutely gorgeous. She does a wonderful job. I just really so someone brought into the class, Irene did, she quilted this quilt for someone and it was a hexie thing, and they made the hexie flowers and they appliqued it onto like a low volume 4-patch. It was a free pattern from Better Homes and Gardens, and it was beautiful. And I was like, hey, I could do that. I could make like 10 of them over time and applique them on. Like, I was thinking of all the ways to cheat. I was like, okay, I can base these and then I can applique them onto a quilt and use a zigzag stitch and stitch them down, right? And they're like, well, yeah, but it's like you're missing out on the magic of EPP because all I wanted to do was find ways to cheat. Take the hand stitching out. So this table hasn't been sanded yet, and the sides are like really rough from being cut. So my fabric is catching on the edge of the table. It's not wanting to work with me. For those of you with the Juki, I don't know if Becca's still on. I know her and Tiffany have one. How often do you oil your machines? How often do you oil your Juki? I should probably oil mine right now, because I don't remember the last time I oiled it. We're almost done. I'm loving this. This is so cute. We're to that corner that is a little rough. It's got that fold in there, so we're gonna have to finagle it. Got him! Scored one. I got another one in there. No cheating! I give up. Long A in finagle. Finagle. Okay. I guess I've been saying it the wrong time. Finagle. That just sounds so wrong. Finagle. Finagle. Alright, we're done. We're done with this. We've got another hour, so I can work on some blocks for legit kits. Ta-da! I love the yellow binding. It is a winner. I wanted to do scrappy of like going red, orange, yellow, green, blue all the way around, but I just couldn't find fabric in my stash that matched the vibrancy of the colors at the top, and it just looked off. But this yellow just, I think it works. It just contrasts really well with all of those really bright colors. I love it! And that quilting is just so fun. I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm glad that it's finito, it's done. And then this is the back, also from my scraps, or stash, I should say. So yeah, all done with that one. Now, to pick what blocks I'm gonna do tonight for the Goldfinch. Alright, here are the ones that we have. We have 5 of them. We have 11 more to go. Beep. Ta-da! Okay, let's put them over here. And let's look at our graph and pick which ones. I need a mark on here. Like, X them out. So, I've done D1 and D4, check. And then I've done, I think it was B4, A4, and A3 that we did the other night, because they were the easy ones. B4, A4, A3. Alrighty. So let's do, I guess I can just cross these out. Alright. Which one do I want to go for tonight? And again, D3 isn't looking too bad. So let's do D3. Alright, we'll do D3. Ooh, a little ice cream. What flavor? What flavor? Alright, let's just pull out D3 because there's a few pieces for it. Even if I get one block done, it's more blocks than I have done. So, it's another piece that I've done, I should say. So, put that back over there and cut our templates out. And let's get our light box turned on, shall we? Close our windows. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Stitching EPP, and it's way easier on the wrists and fingers. I need to watch her videos for EPP. It is so hot down here. Hello, Shirley! It is so hot down here. Our pipes were frozen, and so Austin, melted them, but the AC isn't on because he doesn't want them to refreeze. He wants it to gradually, I'm, dying down here. It is so hot. That was my chair, I swear. It makes weird noises. Okay. Lord. So we've got a fun time ahead of us. So we are going to Colorado next month for a whole week with my parents. So we're going to be up in Colorado. I think I'm going to bring my sewing machine. Not the Juki, I'll bring the Singer. And maybe a gingerbread quilt kit that I've had for a long time and sew it up out there. And then a quilt retreat in October. And a quilt show. Hi, Anne. Just look up back quarter shop, Tula EPP. I will. I love Tula. She is awesome. But I've never been interested in EPP, so whenever she's talking about it, I'm like tuning out because I never honestly thought I would do it. But thanks to Irene and my mother-in-law, I went to the class and I actually had a really good time, and so I knew that the class was going to be fun. It wasn't that I was like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible. It was really just the technique. I just didn't know if I would enjoy it. Okay. We need another TV tray because I do not see the other one that was down here. Envy. Let's put our paper piecing bag. Of course it's Tula. Amy, I know you're going to like this because you are a Tula girl. That is now my English paper piecing bag. Alrighty. Woo! We need a few colors. NV IOKE. Where's KE? Where is KE? I think it's over here in this pile. KE and HG. Right here. KE. HG. Bam. We got all of our pieces taken out. We're starting with KE and we're working our way to the bigger pieces. Whee! I have these little magnet things on my scissors, and so everything always gets stuck on them. They always want to come up. Alrighty. Maybe I should get my Soline glue stick out from my EPP bag and use it for the first time with FPP. But if it's Tula, oh, it's her sewing machine one. It's the large project bag, and on the back it's got the little needles and scissors and everything. I knew you would love it because you are a Tula girl. You are. I had something else in there, and I switched it out because I was like, I am gonna bring a pretty Tula bag. Oh my gosh, there was so much Tula there, Amy. You would have loved it. I don't have any of my stuff over here. We are going to have to finger press tonight. Because I don't feel like setting up my wool mat. Waiting for my iron. I do need a cutting mat over here though. So many cutting mats on this table right now. Just put those there. I have not used this light box yet. I'm so excited. Cute from the homemade line. There were a lot of Tula girls there. I should say Tula ladies. They love their Tula. Who doesn't though? eyeballing for the win. And we're going to switch our stitch length back to like 1.5-ish. Because I did switch it back for when I was sewing on that binding, but I don't need that anymore. And so I know this piece is going to fit, but I'm going to lay it on there and put it on the light box and see. Whoa! Pretty cool. All right. Oh, it's on the other side. Okay. So after I get off of here, in about an hour, I am going to get a Pop-Tart, get my water, and then turn on the rest of the Bachelorette that I was watching. Because Tuesdays mean Bachelorette's on Hulu. It's always a day later on Hulu. We don't have cable, so I always like watching that. That's my guilty pleasure show. What is everyone's guilty pleasure show? Like, what is something that you watch where you're like, oh my gosh, if people knew I watched this, they would probably have words for me. But I don't care because I love it anyway. What is that show for you? Kind of wish I had my iron, but I don't feel like setting it up. I feel like I'm so boring tonight. So boring tonight. Alrighty. I can't wait for this to be all put together. I love this pattern. It is so freaking cool. I watched the Gilmore Girls, The Crown, and One Survivor and Big Brother. So You Think You Can Dance is, I don't know why I said it in that way, but it's so good. That's a really good one. NCIS with Gibbs. Ow, ow! Gilmore Girls, I have not watched that all the way through. I've tried to get into it, but it's so slow at the beginning. I'm like, come on, get to the good stuff. So far behind on NCIS. The last few seasons aren't on Netflix. Oh, Gibbs. But I hardly watch TV most days. American Ninja Warrior. What is that? My finger's not working to scroll up with this Band-Aid. There we go. Pop-Tart? I love them. I forgot about those. Oh, I love me some Pop-Tarts. About to go, girls. Have a good night. Good night, June. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you soon. Yeah, I really like blueberry Pop-Tarts, but I also, Austin calls me a serial killer for doing this. I like the unfrosted strawberry. He's like, oh my god, why do you eat unfrosted? I like the unfrosted because it's not too much sugar. Sometimes it's just too much sugar. And I think Pop-Tarts are more of a dessert than breakfast. But that is just me. I like having them as a late night snack. I don't really eat really sugary breakfast. I like savory breakfast. Blah. I cannot talk tonight. Savory breakfasts. I really like some biscuits and gravy and bacon and a lot of salt and toast. I do really like jelly toast. So if I'm having something sugary, it's jelly toast over French toast or pancakes even. I really love a nice piece of toast with butter and grape jelly. It's so good. I can't find the unfrosted ones. What? Then you need to write in. You need to write into your local government and say, bring us the unfrosted Pop-Tarts, please. Some of us like the unfrosted. Charmed. Oh my gosh, I watched Charmed like every morning with my sister before going to school. When we were waiting to like go walk, we would always watch Charmed. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, my sister really liked that one too. I didn't get into that one as much, but that's a good one. I'm going to iron this piece of fabric. I didn't unplug my iron, so it's still on. And this is a bigger section of fabric, so it's going to, if it's got a wrinkle, it's going to show in the quilt, and I don't want that. So I'm right here, I'm just not right here. What else did we watch? We always watched Charm, and we really liked watching like MTV. Even though our parents told us that we couldn't watch it, we watched it anyway. We liked watching Jersey Shore when that came out. Oh my gosh. That stuff makes you feel better about your life. It's like, oh my. People are wackadoodles. I enjoy watching Friends, MASH, and most comedy shows. Ooh, Friends is good. Here's a good one. Once Upon a Time. I don't even know what that is. Friends in The Office. The Office is like so freaking funny, and I feel like that kind of humor needs to come back, but would never survive in today's world because people are just insane and can't laugh anymore. But I love watching The Office because it is really, really funny, and I just really like that sense of humor. I like things that maybe aren't allowed in today's world, but it's so funny. So funny. Once Storybrooke. Find it, watch it. What's it about? I couldn't get into The Office or Seinfeld. Seinfeld, I understand Seinfeld. Seinfeld is like too boring. The Office though, once you get past like that first season, it's so funny to like watch the banter between all of them, and just like Michael Scott in general is so freaking funny. Steve Carell, I should say. But his character is so funny. I follow this account on Instagram, and it shares like takes from The Office that never made it in. And so they're always sharing that kind of stuff on there, and it's so funny to watch like outtakes from when they couldn't stop laughing to do a scene. Oh my goodness. Hello, Brenda. And I think the other day they shared a really cool one where they showed all of the different actors that tried out for The Office. Like, I'm sure there's like a proper, they auditioned for it and they just didn't make it or whatever. But the people that were auditioning, it was really cool to see, like, oh my gosh, could you imagine the show with this person as Michael Scott or this person as Dwight Schrute? Like, it was really cool. I love watching that kind of stuff. I'm going to iron this real quick. Dancing with the Stars, when it first came out, right? Like when Twitch was just on the show, those were like amazing. I did recently, so I watched Dancing with the Stars. I'm not a huge Dancing with the Stars person. I really like the original judges. They switched up their judges this year, or the other year, I don't know. I haven't been watching it, as I said, so I don't know a ton about that show, but I did really enjoy watching it. I watched the season where that basketball player won, and I really liked him. He had such a swagger. Like, he was just, watching him dance was really cool. This, like, 7-foot dude. doing the waltz and stuff. It was really, really cool. And that season also had someone from The Office, that one chick. I can't think of what her, Pam, I think was, I don't know. I think it was Pam. Yes, and stars that, Grey's Anatomy, that's a good one. There's just so many seasons of that, that I can't, like, I think I watched up to, like, season 5, and I had to tap out. I stopped watching, and then I saw that they just kept releasing seasons, and I was like, oh, I really like the show, but I want to wait until they're done. So I have, like, an end in sight, you know what I mean? That while I'm watching it, I don't feel like I'm just going to never catch up. Also, my problem is, with shows that just keep coming out with seasons, I forget what happens. Because you wait for a season to come out, and then it comes out, and you're like, wait, what happened the last season? And you totally forget, and you almost have to start the whole thing over. So I want to wait for all of those seasons, the whole show of Grey's Anatomy to be done, because then I will watch every single one of them. That is a crying show. I just cry. I like a good crying show, though. Like a show that you can just put on and get a good cry in. Hello! How are you, Rich? I think you're not, I mean, your name is not actually Rich. That's your husband's account, right? Your name's Mary, I think. Isn't it Mary? We finished binding that rainbow quilt that I quilted, and we just did part of a block for Legit Kits. This block has a few sections to it, 6, so we just did the big one. So let's just hop into the rest of them. I'll show you what we got the binding on. I put a yellow binding on this, and I really, really enjoy the color of it. It's really fun. So it's all done, and I can hang it on my wall, and I think I'm going to enter in a quilt show just for fun. I've never entered anything, but they have like a small quilt category where it's like any given side of the quilt is less than 34 inches, and so I was like, maybe I'll enter this one in there. That would be fun, wouldn't it? It's really pretty. I don't expect to win awards with it, but it would be cool to enter something in. I want to find a piece that fits this, but I don't want the selvage to be included. So that's pretty big, but we're doing it. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to go up on my wall because I took the bulldog down, which is really, I love the bulldog. That came from my in-laws for Christmas a few years ago. He's just going to find a new home on a different wall. It's going to be fine. But I'm going to put the rainbow one right here. So when you come down to the sewing area, you're greeted with all of the fun colors. I need CK. I saw that earlier up here. It's getting in a little bit of grass in this background. There we go. We are going to get this quilt done. I want to hang this one on the wall too. My first Legit Kits. If I ever get picked again for a test, then I will do it again. I really like the wall hanging size. I feel like it's less scary, less intimidating. I don't have my iron, so I'm just finger pressing. I need CF. Where is CF? We just need a tiny little bit of him, so we are going to cut off a little slice. Right there. Ta-da! Then we're going to put him right back. I don't know why I'm calling it a him, but... I've been so tired lately. Oh my goodness. We did take the kids out this morning and set up the splash pad, and they got a new play set from their Gigi and Pa for Christmas, and they set it up early so they could play with it because winters get pretty snowy out here. And so they played and swung, and then we got the splash pad out, and Addie got his, I think we have a little slide that we can move around. It's like a baby slide. He picked it up and he put it, and he's like, it's a water slide! So he was sliding into the splash pad. He was having so much fun. And then Louise was out there just having a blast, taking everybody's water bottles. She loves taking everyone's water bottles. She's such a goober. Ta-da! Beth, where are you? I am in Kansas City. We get a lot of snow down here. Most winters are pretty snowy. I need to find H-O. Where are you at, Ho? H-O, H-O. There it is. Ho. Okay. Bam. You are very multitasking, so Terry. I think we can get this block done. Well, we'll see. The other ones have a little bit more pieces in them, but we'll see. We might get all of our sections done, and we might just not be able to piece it all together. But it'll be an easy piece tomorrow. CF, we need CF again. And that was... Which one was CF? Sometimes you can remember... Oh, it was coffee. Sometimes you kind of remember which ones, and then sometimes you totally forget. At least that's just me. There we go. Put it back. Oh, hello, Marie. How are you? We're so glad to have you on here. We are just sewing away over here. We are working on our legit kits. We bound a quilt. Well, we bound along a wall hanging. It wasn't a full-size quilt. But I want to get that strawberry quilt that I did trimmed up and ready to bind as well. I don't know what I want to bind it with, though. So that is the question. I have a bunch of How's sleep training going? Heather, don't go there. Don't go there. How do you think it's going? I am a pushover. Once we get a little bit closer to the baby getting here, I think we'll have more of an urge. But it's just like, hey, let's pick a night. What night sounds good for you to hear screaming for 2 hours? Like, trying to schedule it, and then it's just like also the ease of not having to mess with it right now, and just like doing things in our schedule how we do them all the time, like not having to break your schedule. The convenience of that. Yes, she is in our bed, and that is not always convenient, but I think it's going about as well as my potty training. Oh my gosh. Potty training Zoe was awesome. Potty training Addie was so much harder to teach a boy. Like, he was so stubborn. And then, you know, there were a lot of other different things that Zoe doesn't have to worry about. Like pee just shooting out. And so she was really easy to train. How old is your kiddo that you're trying to train right now? We had a sticker chart, and then we had a container of M&Ms that had her letter on, her Gigi, and Paul made it for them. But Addie had a sticker chart and his own M&M container as well. And she really loved being able to get her own sticker and put it on herself. Like, that was what did both of them. Whee! But every kid's different, so I know what my kids do is not what every other kid is gonna do. So I'm not saying you should do it, but stickers and candy, that was our secret. Now, getting Zoe to use the potty hasn't been hard at all, but getting her to wipe, oh my god. She'll come out and she'll be like, I went potty, can I have a sticker? Or can I have candy? And I'm like, did you wipe? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, don't you lie to me. I know you didn't wipe because I just know you and you're lying to me right now. And she's like, did you wipe? Oh no. I'm like, you need to wipe when you go potty, girl. So that's where we're struggling. She'll go potty, but she won't wipe. So we go through underwear like crazy. It's literally skid mark central. And I know this is what you guys all came on to talk about tonight. But we are talking about potty training, little kids. Not wanting to wipe is just, oh my gosh, insane. Like, girl, get it together. Where is the fabric that I need? Oh, I need LB. LB. I was looking for a different letter, so I probably missed it in this stack. LB, oh, no, LBL, found it. Okay, LB and LE, and up. I'm guessing it's another brown, like leather brown. That's what I'm guessing the abbreviation is for. Where is it? It's going to be sitting right in front of me. Oh, there it is. There's another piece of fabric on it. Okie dokie. We've got our fabric. 5, between her stubbornness and my back problems. Oh my gosh. Same story with my 8-year-old. Aw. Yeah. I'm sure that was, had its own list of things. Trying to do that. You can do it, though. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Potty training seems like some sort of parental torture. I'm telling you, it's terrible. But once it clicks, it's like, oh, it's like the best gift ever. You're like, wait, I don't need to change their diaper anymore? This is fantastic. But it is legit torture. I hated potty training Addie. It was so bad. I always tell them that they didn't, but never tell them how you know. Keep the upper hand. Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, let me see your butt then. Because I think you're full of it. That girl. That's hilarious. She cracks me up. Ha. Yes, some kiddos have a psychological block using the toilet. It's real. You're just so happy when they don't have issues and they just go. Yeah. Addie, so he's a boy, so he would like be sitting on his potty and he wouldn't be leaning over enough. And I remember sitting upstairs. We had like a little Mickey Mouse potty. He's going potty and he's finally peeing. He's finally doing it. And I'm like, yes, like, go you. And then within seconds, you just see it start like fountaining out of his shirt, like through his inside of his shirt, out his shirt. And I just sit there and I'm like, don't react, don't make a face. And he just sat there watching it happen, like, oh my God. Like, he was just like watching it. And both of us just sat there until he was done. And then I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to clean that up. It happens. So, if you say there was no toilet tissue in the toilet, they will just throw toilet tissue in the toilet. Never tell them how you know. So true. My oldest son was so easy. The youngest, he was hard until I put Cheerios in the potty so he would pee on them. See, we taught him how to pee sitting down first because I was the one teaching him, and I was like, well, let's just start sitting down. I didn't know what I was doing. And then finally, now he pees standing up. But I heard that was a really good one to have them try and like aim for things. Try fancy panties. Works great for most little girls. Tell her, let's go shopping. Pull-up cast too much. Yeah, we don't do pull-ups. So we learned with Addie, we got pull-ups, and he would literally wait till we put them on, and he would pee or he would poop in them. And I was like, oh my God, what's worse than changing a diaper with poop in it? Changing a pull-up with poop in it. And they're so expensive. And so I just was like, screw it. Once we got to Zoe, I was like, you're not getting pull-ups. You're not getting pull-ups. You're not wearing diapers at night. Now, do they have accidents at night? Yes, and that's completely fine. Like, they're young. They're gonna wet the bed. It's completely normal. We don't yell at them or get upset. But I feel like it's so much better than having pull-ups on. Because then it's like they have permission to do it in their minds. One thing I was told the boys while potty training was point down, always point down. And they still sit down. Yeah, so he was still sitting down. And then my mother-in-law taught him how to stand up. Because she was like, just stand up and do it. And so she taught him how to do it. I was like, whatever, that's fine. Whatever. But now he stands and goes potty. And it's actually really nice because he doesn't have to worry about, like, getting his pants all the way down. He just, like, it's a lot quicker. Especially when we're out and we're using potties, like, in the public. It's nice not having to, like, lift him up and get him on the potty and, like, sit there and make sure he doesn't fall off, like, holding him while crouching down and sweating your booty off because it's like, oh my God, pee, please. He can just do it all by himself. I totally agree, Beth. It's so much like a diaper. And they're so expensive. I was like, screw this. Yeah, I'm done. As soon as we would put them on, they would pee in them. So, I'm hoping Louise will be like the easiest to train because she's the third. So like 3 times the charm. She's going to watch them do it and be like a champ at it. All right, which one do I want to do next? This is like in a weird order on this one. I might reorder it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to reorder this one. And if my seams get messed up, that's fine, but I don't like this order because it doesn't make sense to do it that way. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reordering that one. Let's see what this one looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks fine. I don't like that order right there. Let's see. You need to cut them off. Drinking at night? Yes. But they go to bed with their water bottles. So we let them bring a water bottle into their room. Because I get really thirsty at night too. Like sometimes you wake up and your throat's super dry. They just love going to bed with their water bottles. So we use training pants, but that were a little thicker. Yes, they do have those. They usually learn from the older ones. See, Zoe, I was so like, this is going to take so long. She's so stubborn. But I finally just put my foot down because I'd be like, hey, do you want to do potty training? And she'd go, no, or maybe tomorrow, all the time. And I finally was like, hey, get your butt in the bathroom. We're going potty on the toilet. We're done. And I took all of her diapers. And she finally was like, oh, mom's not jacking around. Like, she really means it. So that really, like, switched a click in her, like, it clicked something in her mind where she finally was like, okay. But I tried doing the naked, like letting her be naked for like a couple days and having her go potty. But she would just end up peeing on the floor. And so then I was like, well, that's stupid. And I just started putting the underwear on her. And when she would wet her underwear, she felt it. And so she learned really fast that way. They usually learn from the older ones. Alright, let's see. Alright, what time is it? It's 9:39. Let's get this block done. Guys, I've been it has been so hard to find motivation lately. And this is a project where you need a lot of motivation because I'm just getting so tired. I'm like hitting that phase. I'm ready for the second trimester to just renew my energy. Get me back down here like every night. So tired. Alright, I need LB for this one. I don't need that one. Whee! I need CG. Which ones do I need? I think CG's over here. Nope. Calling it a night, peeps. Have a wonderful night. Good night. I schedule potty breaks. Yes, we did the potty timer. We would just set a timer for every 15 minutes and we would go to the potty. I had a friend who potty trained all her kids before a year old. She would take 3 days off of work and just break them from a diaper. I was amazed. Oh my God. Who is this woman? Who is this woman? Okay. We've got LB. We need CG. See, part of it's just tracking down the fabric, too. There's so much of it. Sometimes that's hard to find. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, we've got CG. HY. My gosh. Oh my goodness. I have 2 colors and I need 3 more. PL. OZ. Where is OZ? And LN. Here's LN. OZ. Where is the color that I'm looking for? Oh my gosh. Most of the time it's just sitting right in front of you. It's just your eyes are so overwhelmed. It is it is for the most part in alphabetical order. That's how I laid it out at the beginning. But I have gone sloppy with putting it away. I don't know. There are things that I'm gonna do differently if I do another one in the future. Because really tracking the fabric down takes the longest time. For me right now. I just don't want to mess with it anymore. I don't want to mess with like reorganizing the fabric because there's so much of it. But it's organized by size and then alphabetized by size. So that's okie dokie. I need some music. Tonight would have been a good night for music. I think we're going to just be one section short tonight of completing the whole block. That's okay. I didn't get as much time as usual because the AC wasn't working, so Austin worked on that while I was cuddling with Louise, and that took about an hour. I was up there for about an hour. I was like, I have so much that I need to sew, but I don't want to be sweating all night, so do your thing. Once he texted that the pipes were frozen, I was like, oh dear Lord. That explains why it's been so hot. Does anyone else's pipes freeze a lot for their AC? Or is it just us? I feel like we've had the worst luck with that. Even when we were in the apartment, there'd be nights, like, the air conditioning systems in the apartment sucked. Like, let's just put it there. They were terrible. But they would always freeze, and it would be, like, on nights where it's, like, 90 degrees. And we're like asking everyone in the family, does anyone have any fans to spare that they're not using? Can we use them? Because it would be so hot. And for the kids, like, I think Zoe was a newborn one time when it went out, and I was like, it is too hot in this apartment for a newborn. Like, this, she could die. Like, it is so hot. Like, not being dramatic, but newborns can't regulate their temperature like we can. So I was so worried. It was the worst. See, sewing it doesn't take a long time. It's getting the fabrics picked out. So maybe I will spend some time tomorrow and reorganize my layout so that I can like find what I need a little bit easier and faster so I can like get going on this, because I want to get this little birdie done. I'm so excited to hang it up. It'd be cool if I could get it done before the quilt show and put it in the quilt show. Because I don't, like, when I was at that EPP thing the other day, there was someone who didn't even know what Legit Kits was. I was like, what? And I showed her, and it absolutely blew her mind. She was like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. So maybe the people in the guild don't know about Legit Kits. Because not everyone likes foundation paper piecing. But maybe I could convert some more people to like FPP by entering the Goldfinch into the quilt show. Ta-da! Look at that. That would be great for the quilt show, Beth. I think it'd be so fun. I've been seeing a lot of people doing that. Hubby said you need refrigerant. Call an AC company. He just got a blow dryer. He just got a blow dryer and like melted the pipes, and we're waiting for it to kind of just work its way slowly up. We don't like calling people because we don't like paying for things. We just try to like DIY most things. Our AC just kind of sometimes is finicky. We changed our thermostat. It's a Nest one. It's an intuitive thermostat. And I think that's what it is. Our old thermostat, we never had problems. Like, the house always felt nice and cool. But this Google one makes it so freaking hot in the house because it thinks we like it that temperature. No, it's terrible. Well, we'll think about it. It's happened a few times. I think it happened last year, and we've just defrosted. And Beth, you mean your AC blows? Yes, it does, Kathleen. But not the good kind. Sheet protectors for each color in a binder. Amy, you're genius. Yes, I need to do that. I need to find a binder. Well, we only have this one left. Ta-da! But I have to hop off. Tomorrow, it's just me with the kiddos, so wish me luck. I can survive a day being a solo mama. Man, I used to do that all the time. COVID has spoiled me with having some extra help around the house. But we bound this beautiful quilt. I'm not tooting my own horn, but toot. I love this quilt. I want to make a full-size quilt with just scraps. Like, how fun is this? And I was toying with the idea in Discord with doing a scrap sew-along where all of us get together and we just use our scraps and we make a quilt. Even if we like meet up every month and we just work on a few blocks, it'd be cool to do a scrappy sew-along. We could we could probably come up with a few patterns, or you could just improv it. I mean, anyone could pick whatever pattern they wanted, but the only rule is that you have to use scraps. Nothing else. You can't buy fabric for this project. Either stash or scraps. I mean, scraps preferably, but if it's in your stash, like this backing was in my stash. It's technically not a scrap, but it was in my stash. The yellow binding was a scrap. Everything else was a scrap, but the backing was from a stash. That I bought this at like someone was destashing, so it was from her stash. So technically, well, I think it was from her scraps. Technically, it is a scrap. It's just not a scrap that I made. Alright, I'm not going to ramble too much longer. I'm so tired. I feel like tonight I just haven't made a lot of sense. I was saying finagle wrong. Poor Heather was trying to tell me that. It'll freeze back again if it's low on Freon. Okay. You absolutely should make a big one. Alright, scrap sew along. I'm in for it. I think we should do it. And like, if you're not in the Discord, then maybe if you're on Facebook in one of the many Facebook groups, we could post progress on there. I don't have my own Facebook group for Goody Goods, so Discord really works well because there's so many people on there that follow Courtney and Sean and I, and so it's nice to have everyone in one spot. So I really like sharing things on there. But we can find a different way too if you don't have Discord or you don't want to get Discord. It's a really fun group. So if you're not on it, you should join it. I'm going to peer pressure you. Okay, I'm going to press the button because I'll just sit here and yap away. I'm going to go get my Pop-Tart, my ice cold water, and I'm going to watch The Bachelorette. I'm probably just going to pass out asleep, but I think I'm going to watch the rest of The Bachelorette. I'm so tired. I'm going to regret staying up, but I'm going to do it. I want to make my scrappy houses from FPP pattern, my kind of, ooh, that would be so awesome, Amy. Do it. Those quilts are so freaking cool. You should definitely do it. All right. We'll come up with a date to start the sew along. And we'll just meet every month, and we'll just all get together and sew together. Maybe we can do a Zoom or something where you guys could come on if you're comfortable, and like maybe we could do like a private video thing too. We could do a private video group chat and just all hang out and sew together. I wouldn't have to be live on YouTube. Let me know what you think about that idea. Okay, I'm pressing the button. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Have a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow. Hump day!